George, what did you make of that tonight?
I think it was the game we expected. I think first half we got off to a good start, controlling the game and whatnot. But I think we just sort of fell off a little bit with the second balls and winning a few of the duels and that, and that's how they want to get a foothold in the game. And I thought we withstood a lot of pressure, especially when they're having the corners one after another. And I just thought we struggled to get out of that phase a little bit. It took a little bit too long to get out of that phase, should I say. And I think, second half we gave it a really good go and we were unlucky with a few moments.
How disappointed to go out of the competition?
Yeah, very. Obviously you want to go as far as you possibly can in any competition. The good thing about football and especially this little period is we get to come back here next week and put tonight right. So that's going to be the focus for everyone this week.
Can it have a bearing on next Saturday then? Can it fire you up all the more tonight?
It can do if we use it in the right way. Nobody likes to lose a game, but ultimately there's lessons to be learnt and things we can, like I say, learn from tonight and take into next week to make sure we're better and get the result that we want.
As a team, how disappointing not to score a goal tonight as well? Yeah,
very. I think we had the chances. On another day they all go in the back of the net and you win the game comfortably. That's football sometimes, but like I say, we've got the luxury of being able to come back next week. Unfortunately not in the cup, but in the league, and so we've got a chance to go and put 3 more points on the board.
How did you feel captaining the side?
Yeah, super proud. I love every minute of being here since the second I walked through the door. So I've seen a lot of people come and go, and to still be here and the gaffer to give me the chance to captain the side tonight was massive honour.
Had an armband before in the past? When was the last time you led a team?
Now you're testing me. Yeah, a long time ago, should we say. It's not something I've done in sort of men's football. I've done it in when I was a little bit younger, but yeah, men's football that's the first. So.
How did that conversation go? Was this last night in the hotel? When did you find out about it?
Yeah, the boss pulled me last night. We were just sat having a chat, talking about a few things, watching a few clips from certain games and going through a few bits and bobs. So yeah, he told me then, told me that he sees me as a leader in the group, and I tried to be that every single day, and said I was going to captain the side, so I slept pretty nice.
And what about your style of captaincy? What kind of a leader are you?
I'm not the biggest screamer and shouter. I was trying to say what needs to be said. After one game of being a captain, I don't really know what kind of captain I am. It's kind of hard to say. I think you're better off speaking to Dawes and someone who's been captain a hell of a lot more times than that to figure that one out. But yeah, I just try to do as best I possibly can. Get the boys going before the game, make sure the warm up's where it needs to be, and you pick little things up off Dawes and captains I've played off before. And so if I can go and show my quality and my work rate and all that sort of stuff, especially being a striker, leading the line, then yeah, hopefully all the boys will follow on with it.
I guess you had to say a few words in the huddle beforehand.
Yeah, I did. I can't remember what I said, to be honest. It was just to refocus the boys, get them going again, and make sure we started quick, which I think we did. So it was like I say, a shame not to get the result tonight, but that's football and we'll come back in next week.
You look like a player that needed a goal at the moment, George.
Yeah, you could say that. I think that's been something that I've been playing on my mind a little bit recently, and I've had chats with the boss about it, and as a striker you go through ebbs and flows throughout your career. It's never going to be plain sailing the whole way through, and I think it's probably the first sort of period that I've had since I've been at Ipswich, and it's just found myself probably getting a little bit too eager and a bit too keen to try and get a goal and do something amazing and all that sort of stuff, and get the fans on side and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, speaking to the boss and speaking to the coaches, it's just doing the basics. It's working hard. It's doing what I do for the team, and yeah, the goals will come. And all I can do is keep working hard every day in training and putting the work in behind closed doors. And yeah, like I say, if I keep doing that and keep doing the right things, then the rewards will come.
How difficult is it though when there's flack and criticism flying around?
That is what it is. I'm not really too bothered, to be honest. It's everyone's entitled to the opinion. When I'm scoring, it will be good things being said, and when I'm not scoring, it will be not so good things being said. And that's ultimately the life of a striker. It's not something I'm alien to. I've been around my dad a lot, walking through Sheffield when I was younger, and I've heard a lot of things that have sort of conditioned me. So yeah, like I say, people are more than entitled to say whatever they want to say. I take it on the chin. Like I say, if I'm not scoring and they want to say something, then ultimately get back scoring, and you don't have to listen to it. So it's like I say, just keep working hard. All I can do is put myself in the right positions at the right times, and yeah, the goals will come.
Does your dad help in moments like this?
Of course, yeah. He's been through it himself. I think you speak to any striker, they've probably been through it at some point. A little period of time where they've not got on the score sheet. The confidence isn't flowing through your veins as much as it has done at times. And yeah, it's just a matter of, like I say, working hard. All you can do is keep putting the reps in training and get to a match day. And like I say, keep doing it. If it doesn't come off, and you keep doing it. Simple as that. And yeah, the results will come, the goals will come. And like I say, if I can, keep working hard, then I'm not so worried about that.
And it's like the chances are you get one, then you get a second, then you'll get a third in a few games.
Yeah, of course. It's cliche, like London buses is you wait all that time, and then your next thing you know, you get the one and you're off and running again. So yeah, that's, like I said, life of a striker. I wish I could score every single week, don't get me wrong, but that's not the reality of it. So yeah, just keep working hard and put myself in the right positions and the goals will come.
Thanks a lot, George.
Thank you.
George, can you try too hard as a footballer, as a striker? It sounds like you think there's perhaps an element of that.
Of course, yeah. I think I like to think I'm quite a switched on lad, and probably think a little bit too deep into things, a bit too much at times, rather than just play my own game and stuff like that. So yeah, of course you can overthink stuff and you can let it get to you more than it should do, but you just got to trust in your ability, put the work in day out, and you'll come through the other side of it, no problem.
And Jack and Jayden have obviously been the leading goal scorers in the team this season. Do you think there's enough goals from elsewhere in the pitch other than those two and yourself?
I think so. I think we've been scoring from a lot of different areas. We've done really well on set pieces and that side of the game as well. So yeah, it's people go through the season, people are hot, people are cold, and you just hope that in the squad you're in, you've got people who can pick up the slack. Clarkie and Jayden have been absolutely flying on the goal front. So yeah, obviously Clarkie's still fit, Jayden's hopefully not too far from coming back, and yeah, hopefully as a forward unit especially, we can all keep chipping in.
And is part of the biggest disappointment tonight perhaps minutes for some of the players who don't get as many minutes in the team, being maybe not able to utilise the FA Cup to that extent anymore?
You'll have to ask the boss that question. That's not really one for me to answer, but it's we want as many games as possible. We've got a big competitive squad, and the more games we have, the more minutes everyone is going to have. So yeah, now we just have the league to focus on, and so yeah, it just increases competition throughout, and yeah, everyone's going to be hungry to get themselves in the team.
I just want to ask about Ivan as well, as a young striker coming to England for the first time. What's your role been in the team in terms of him? Is it kind of nurturing him? Is it kind of telling him what the division's about, that kind of thing?
Not necessarily. Like I say, he's a grown lad. He's experienced enough himself. He's got experiences that I haven't got, and yeah, I can try help as much as possible. But I think he's learning himself, and he's been playing well recently and stuff like that, especially. So yeah, I think he's a very good player, and if I can help him, I'll help him. There's things I can learn off him, not a problem. So I think as a forward unit, including the wingers, the 10s, the strikers, we can all learn something off each other, and we can all help each other be better. So I think that's the main goal, in training, pushing each other every day, and just getting the best out of each other.